Hello there! In today's video we are going to manipulate tags. We're going to enter in tag names and set up aliases, data types and so much more. So stay tuned, stay with me and let's just do this together. I'm Roberto Cruz and welcome back to RTF, folks. In today's video, we're continuing on quick start steps in Studio 5000 Logix Designer. So on our previous video, we went through on how we configured I/O modules. So I showed you guys how you can configure your modules through the quick start steps. From the help file. So I'm going to leave a card here so you can guys access the previous video. For those of you who just landed here, so this is this is our channel RTFM. It's an operation technology oriented channel. So if you guys are keen on learning on get yourself a bit more familiarized to the industrial automation, so please do consider subscribing to our channel. Make sure you check us out on our Instagram page. So this, the Instagram is where I keep most of you guys informed of all the, the headlines and everything. So check us out. This is at RTF_M on Instagram, right? So you can find the link to our Instagram page in the description of this video. Okay, guys. So without further ado, as I just said before the intro, so in today's video we're going to go through tags. So how do we enter a new tag? So how do we configure a new tag? So how can we set up an alias to, let's say, for an input, a digital input, for instance, we can set up an alias so we can manipulate the actual alias instead of using the physical memory. Okay, so right. All that said, let's just dive into the content. Let me just switch screens so we can go back to our Studio 5000 Logix Designer. So here we go, guys. So same application now. The only mods that I've done. So we went through on how to configure a new module. So basically, because I'm running on a emulation environment, obviously I've just configured our simulation. So our I/O sim card. And I've obviously got the scope, right? The tag scope opened up, so you can see all the three instances that are created alongside with the module once you configure the module. Right. So this is the only difference, that I've deleted all those physical inputs that we've created initially on our previous video. So make sure you check out how to configure I/O cards. In the future, I've got here a compactor logic, so I'm going to be obviously creating building up, I actually finished off my test bench, which is I've just I just halted it, halfway through it. I've got it here underneath my desk. So we can obviously gonna be playing with the actual controller. All right. Just having a sip of my tea here, guys. So right, let's just dive into this. Okay, so basically, once you create a new I/O card, you've got instances. So you've got because this is a dual module, right? When you configure on to emulate. So I've got both inputs and outputs in the same card. So I can expand this one up just to show you guys. So those are all the outputs and those are all the inputs, right? So if I expand this is obviously this is a 32 bits, right? And then you've got another 32 bits here, which is allocated. And you've also got configuration here, so you can do a bit of a configuring. I just wanted to show you guys really how this works, right? Let me just minimize all those things, and we're gonna go through how you can add a new tab, right? Let's just, for instance, so there are various methods, right? We are going to the quick start steps, so they show you guys how you can configure a new tag by pushing file, new component, and new tag. All right. So this is our new tag editor. And let me just cancel that. So there's another way of doing this. You can just push the shortcut Control W and it brings it up. Here we go. Same thing. So this, when you get a bit more, specialized, and, obviously this comes with usability, right? So as long as you get familiar, you get comfortable with the tool, you ended up learning how you can perform your task quicker, right? So like, let's just, for instance, create a new tag called motor, right? So this is a motor, which can be, you know, a conveyor belt, or can also be a pump. We're just going to call it motor for the time being, right? So let's just, so you can add up a quick description here. So let's just say this is a, maybe just a conveyor belt, for instance, right? Right. So over here, there are a couple of things that you obviously you are unable to do because we are online. So we're doing these online, right, guys? Let me just go through. Yeah, so we can't, unfortunately, we are unable to change the usage, but we're going to start by the base, right? So the base tag. Okay, so let's just expand that a little bit here so I can show you guys. So base. So a base tag is, so you've got either base or alias, right? We're going to set this one as alias now, because I'm going to show you guys how you can manipulate your physical I/O without actually addressing it. This is obviously going to be, we're going to show you in the next video, which is entering ladder logic. But in the meantime, it's going to show you what is there. Base tags, for instance, it's a tag that defines where the memories is stored. So unless otherwise specified, all new tags are base tags. So all the new tags you create, unless you change them, they are always base tags. You can create base tags while the controller is online or offline, if the new tag can be verified. All right? What is an alias tag? A tag, it's a tag that references a memory defined by another tag. So basically, an alias tag may refer to another alias tag or a base tag. An alias tag may also refer to a memory within another tag, and by referencing a member of a structure tag or a bit within an integer tag or a member. You can create alias tag while the controller is online or offline if the new tag can be verified. So this is an alias. So what basically the alias, what we could call a mapping base. So normally it's for good practice when you are programming new code, you can configure your tag to be just to map it across to an internal memory. So your physical input is mapping to a memory, and then you ended up using this memory along your program, so you don't have to change. And there's various reasons to do that, right? For housekeeping, which I'm going to cover that in the near future. But basically, what we're going to do is, as soon as you select alias, then you expand the memory, so the controller tags, so you can pick which tag you want to point an alias to. All right. So basically, because this is a motor, which is obviously an output, you can select which output your motor is wired to. Let's say, for instance, just for argument's sake, our motor is wired to output number 0. So basically, your magnetic contactor is wired to output number 0, right? So you select that. So basically, our motor is now aliased to your output number 0 on slot 6, right? Local 6, where our input module is fitted, is installed. So because you select the actual output, you see that the data type is automatically set to Boolean, so it's a bit. So here we go. So this is being automatically selected because this is an actual Boolean. So your base tag needs to be alias to your data type is going to be assigned to whichever alias you picked for. So if it was an integer, that would be an integer, right? So this is automatically set. There's no parameter connection in this scope, right? What is the scope? So let me just go here and I can actually tell you what the scope means. So basically, by default, it picks up the controller scope. So basically, the scope is the level at which tags and routines may be created. So they can be created at the controller level, which is by default selected, right? Accessible by all routines, or at the program level. So you've got multiple programs, you can create your tag to be assigned to that particular program which is only going to be accessible to that level. All right. As just read this briefly, a description. So basically what it says, like I just said, at the program level, accessible to only the routines within the single program. So by default, we always use this scope at the controller level. I guess in nowadays, because of cybersecurity, there obviously there must be various reasons you can actually configure a project to be a bit more secure by just having tags associated to their programs, right? Unless otherwise specified to a certain SCADA application, for instance. If I remember correctly, back in the days, if you have a SCADA system talking to your control Logix, especially if it's whether it's a third party, not a Rockwell PLC, you have to assign them all to controller level. I remember working with Wonderware once, Wonderware InTouch. You have to have all them tags assigned to the at the controller level. Otherwise, it wouldn't actually, SCADA wouldn't be able to actually pick up the comms and read and monitor that tag. Right? Here we go. So you are unable to change that read and write access style. So the style is the numerical systems the numerical values. So I'm just going to leave as decimal for the time being and revisit that in a second once we create a new tag. So let's just push create. Here we go, guys. New tag, right? New tags over here. So let me it shows using the controller tags, which is accessible by the controller organizer, just the first folder here, right? Okay, so this is our tag. So we've got here our value, the tag's value, force mask, style, all right? It's a Boolean tag, okay? So it's a Boolean, which is the data type. So and you've got some other bits and pieces right here. If we just navigate to the edit tab, it shows you the alias. So check these out. So your motor tag is an alias for your output located on slot number 6 or local slot number 6 module, sim module, right? The first integer, the first word, the first element, and then output 0. We've got your description here is a conveyor belt, and it gives you write and read external access. All right, so here we go. So we just created an alias for your motor, right? Let's just create a new tag, right? Very quickly here. So again, guys, a shortcut, right? Push the shortcut, Control W, and brings up your window pop-up. So let's just create here, let's just say a start PB, start push button, right? So this is going to be a memory, okay? So this is going to be a base tag. It's not going to be an alias, so it's going to be an internal memory. Again, we're going to set this to Boolean. There are, dozens of data types which you're going to cover in future videos, right? But in the meantime, bool, it stands for Boolean, right? No parameter connection. Again, so this is where your external access, so this is the access rights that tag will have from external applications such as HMIs. And in our case, let's just leave that as, read and write. Style, leave as decimal. So what's the style? So style is basically you can display your tag based on those numerical system. So you can have binary, you can display them as a binary system, you can display them as octal, decimal, hexadecimal, and there is a notation. So if you set them to binary, it's going to be a notation on the value as number 2 hashtag. If it's decimal, there's nothing in it, it doesn't apply. If it's set to hexadecimal, it's going to be a 16 hashtag, octal 18 hashtag. Exponential, you can always have it as an exponential for a floating point. There's going to be a 0 dot and various decimal points, E plus, and another set of decimal number, right? And so this is a notation. I'll show you guys later how you can change that. In the meantime, it's just for you to be able to understand. So let's just create this tag, and it's going to bring right down here, right? It's creating here. Start button. If you go back to monitor, it's start. This is the 0 value, which is showing decimal, right? And We've got obviously the style. So if I change this style to binary, you see, so that's the notation I just said. It shows you the notation in binary, either 0 or 1. So that's why you've got just one character, right? And here we go. So this is it, guys. So this is how we create new tags. How we can. Oh, let me just show you quickly so you can cover down. We might as well just revisit it in the next video. But you can also create a new tag by, I think this is handy. It's not being covered here. It's not being actually described within the quick start steps, how you can create a tag from the actual program. Let me just show you guys very quick. So this is the ladder logic, right? So for instance, just the first rung. If I just add a XIC, which is your normally open contact, and I'm calling this memory 1, for instance, right? So you see this is now, if I wanted to create, I can also right click on that, you see, and it also has the option new tag. And as soon as you right click and select new tag, it already named it for you, so you already know. So now you can go for all the settings. So you can set up as a local tag, as an input parameter for a function block. You can always set the type as an alias or base tag, date tab, and so on and so forth. So it's another way of creating tags, right? And I think this is pretty much how you can add up new tags to your project. So so it's been another long video. So I always wanted to have a short video, guys, to make your life easy to refer to. But that's never mind. So 16 minutes is well enough. I'm sure we're gonna trim, we're gonna optimize this in the next couple of videos. But it doesn't matter, right? As long as we pass the information, right? So quick start steps. We just went through on how to create new tags, what alias is about, how you can configure your tag as a base, either base or alias, and why alias is useful. I'm going to show you guys an actual example of alias in the near future, how you can map all your tags, your physical inputs to aliases, so you can manipulate the alias instead of manipulating your physical I/O. Right? So this is all for today, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So make sure make sure if you are subscribed to this channel, make sure you ring the bell to get notified about our latest new videos, right? And if you do enjoy the content, please do consider subscribing to the channel. We really appreciate that. Your feedback is very important. So if you wanted to raise any queries, just write down in the comments below. We've got very useful information on the description of this video, access to our Instagram page. And obviously, if you like this, if you have a friend who's keen on learning operation technology stuff, a student, just share the contents, right? Add to your favorites, and this is just obviously going to help us grow. All right, guys, thank you very much. I'll see you guys next time. And like I always says, always RTFM, folks. Have a wonderful day.